Hi guys, Carcer back again with another quick game of Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 from competitive season 4. Back into our old Evil Sunz fleet for this match. Just fancied going and flying something with a bit more stopping power. So in this game we're playing against Arise Riders of Theoden, who is going to be fielding the Imperial Navy. So obviously I no longer have the luxury of stealth escorts, so rather than splitting them up quite as much as I did before, I'm going to be keeping them clustered into two groups. Start this match, so I'll have a group of 3 over on the far left hand side to grab that point, and then a group of 4 to move up the right hand side and capture the cluster of points there, while I engage the enemy with my battleships and I believe it's cruisers. Yeah, so in this version of the fleet I've got 3 battleship Ordsgarg Dakas and 2 Terror cruisers. So I can see 5 ships off the bat. So the way that the two in these two here up in the top right corner are deployed suggests that they do not have torpedoes. So normally you would deploy your ships line abreast if you wanted, if you had torpedoes, so that you wouldn't shoot yourself up the arse. So they could be carriers, they could be Nova Cannon ships. See if we can get some intel on them. Let's put another fighter squad into that central point there, so you can just get eyeballs on the rest of his fleet. There's another ship up there in the top left. I'm not quite sure what that is. And okay, so we're starting to take torpedo fire. I did not hear those torpedoes go off at all, so I didn't notice them until they'd been out for a wee while. But using the Evil Sunz upgrade, be able to turn our ships relatively quickly, even the battleships, even after the nerf. The red paint upgrade used to actually give you a much better turning rate with the battleships. I think we did everything, but that got quite drastically nerfed a few patches ago.
What you want? You want us over there? Yeah.
Okay, we've got a second round of torpedoes coming out. They're just going to flat out miss. No, don't think I even really needed to move. Okay, maybe I need to move that cruiser slightly. And another wave of torpedoes.
Wings ready. You got it, boss. Hit her right by.
And that'll boost the weight of them. So using a combination of the red paint upgrade and the big red button upgrade, you're able to dodge the torps no problem. With the battleships having that, I think it's something like 10 seconds off the cooldown of big red button, makes them surprisingly maneuverable. So it looks like we found the enemy flagship, which is a Retribution. So yeah, we'd quite like to kill that. Let's get him prioritized.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
And we'll see if we can catch him in this stasis bubble. Got the tractor beam at the ready, and we'll just drag him back in as he gets towards the edge.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
He's got a micro warp jump. Shields are up. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm close enough to get a boarding action off. Oh, just on the periphery. Oh well, that's frustrating. But he doesn't jump far away, so we'll be able to reacquire him pretty soon.
Here we go.
In the meantime, then we can just cruise our way through this central point and capture that as a wee bonus. Now, I moved my bottom right hand group of escorts down just to hang out in the the gas cloud, so they're now stealthed and hidden. My other group are just sat in the left hand point. I should really have moved them up to capture that top point. Oh, it's a nice tractor slam. I believe I got it before he braced for impact on as well, so took a nice wee chunk of damage on both ships and a wee bit of morale hit as well. So we'll start pummeling away at these guys. That was a bit of a waste of strike craft there. Okay, so that one cruiser I was firing at there, he's already got a yellow deck. So once his crew drops, yeah, there he goes. There's a red deck now, and oh, it's a couple of what are the Oberons. Still can't remember what the fuck the Imperial Navy ships are called, but yeah, it's the Nova Cannon ones anyway. So managed to avoid most of the Nova Cannons. It's fine. So I think we're going to split here. I think I probably would have been better keeping 2 battleships down to deal with these Oberons and then just sending 1 battleship up with 2 cruisers to take out these 3, especially since one of them is now mutinied. Although, yeah, the flagship's still active. Ah, now the enemy flagship's deck is also destroyed, so that's great. I think he can still use rally, but he, yeah, if I get him broken, then that's him going to be gone. So just going to send a couple of ships out to try and bracket him, make it harder for him to get away. I'm going to run the my flagship around the back of these other 2 battleships. Just try and cause them to scatter. So the enemy flag is getting pretty low on morale, which is great. So I'll just put a few more boarding actions on him. That should seal the deal. Let's drop stasis, maybe catch them, but mostly it's just going to cause them to split up. Okay, so that's good. So we caught both the flagship and one of the cruisers, or is it a battle cruiser? I don't know, whatever. So I'm just going to boost up the flag so we go over nearer to this group, pop the rally to bring that battleship back into the fold. Trying to micro warp jump, but he's got boarding stacks on him already, so that just gets instantly cancelled. He's now got destroyed. Oh, that's not destroyed. Yellow engine. Okay, and there's the mutiny. Fantastic. Okay, so that's him out of the picture. At this point, I remember that I have 7 escorts sitting around the map, which have just been sat doing nothing the whole match because I'm an idiot. Okay, is the enemy going for yet another Nova Cannon volley? Which does... oof. Yeah, caught them pretty good actually. Unfortunately, I don't have any rally available, and I'm on very low morale on my flagship. So it's now time to bring the onslaughts into play. As I mentioned before in other videos, these things are not to be sniffed at when it comes to their firepower. Well, it's not looking like a good situation for my flag. He's going to go 2-on-1 against 2 enemy battleships. but hopefully the harassing chipping fire from the escorts there can just whittle down the Imperial Navy ships. Other three are still quite a ways away. I think he's about to break, and there goes the mutiny. Fantastic. Okay, now to move on to the next one. So if we could just do that again, then we'll be laughing. Now, because the bulk of this engagement is taking place just right in this spot, there's now a fuck ton of debris lying about, which is annoyingly blocking shots, and it's quite hard to see. But it's, you know, I guess it's something that cuts both ways.
50% of strategic points.
Or not. His macro cannon shots seem to pass straight through it just then. That's kind of annoying. So my flagship is now mutinied, and won't be getting him back. So now it's just my escorts taking on this near full health battleship. I'm thinking my my escorts, they're about 30 points each. So 7 of them, that's about 210 points, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
You have accumulated 75% of strategic points.
Versus what?
The enemy is seizing
300 and something point battleship. I'm not quite sure how much this one costs. So on paper, I should lose this. Although he has exhausted all of his Nova Cannon charges, I think. So finally got his shields down. Now we can start going to work. His shield started recharging very rapidly there. That was really, really quick. I don't know if he's got some kind of skill or ability which does that. Possibly that commissar thing that the Imperial Navy have. So he's concentrating his fire on my flagship, which is a good idea. A better idea would have been to shoot it from the back, but never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. So this is good, because he's got the flagship prioritised, then a bunch of his fire is just going into that rather than my living ships. I'll take a bit of a morale hit once the flagship goes down, and sure, I'll lose a chunk of points, and it's pretty close just now. But I mean, the flagship's only 200 points, so it's not a huge amount. So I'll just recrew him, put out the fire, and continue shooting. I did separate off one escort to go capture that point just above us, which should be it's just about decapped. Just going to reposition some of my ships to get better angles on his rear armour once the shields come down. Looks like he's thinking about a ram, so I'll just send him over. Get these guys ready to run as well. Yep. Not today, sir.
The enemy is close to victory by strategic points.
Okay, and with that out of the way, we'll just continue peppering away at his butt. This has got to be frustrating as fuck. So just keep harassing, keep harassing. So he's once his shield goes down, then he does start going through the hull quite quickly. If I just sent my ships in one by one for rear rams on him now, I think probably 3 or 4 ships probably would have finished him off if he got in with the rear armour. But it would have also finished off my ships. So something you shouldn't forget is that the Orc escorts do have 83 frontal armour. All of them, and you know, it's not just the brute. So if you can ram another escort, especially, you can, you know, really fuck him up, even with, like, you know, an onslaught or a ravager or whatever. You know, if you can get that nice thin rear side armour. So he's just about to go down, but then the game ends 3 points. So that was a fun one. Probably could have ended that in a little less of a cliffhanger if I just remembered to bring my escorts in while the main engagement was going on, but then that would have robbed us of the Benny Hill ending there. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.